welcome back to Ghosting with Anya. I'm your host, Anya Smith, also known as the author of Anya's Ghost Stories Volume 1 and Volume 2, The Return of the Dead. So, we have a new story for you all tonight. It's called The Choir in the Church Basement. I hope you guys like this one. If you guys like music, this story might be for you, but it can be very scary. Like secret music going on in the basement, probably that sort of thing. I mean, I love music, but I prefer listening to like pop music, let's say from the 90s and 2000s. So that's what I'm into, but I would never go to the secret rooms in the basement to do my music because I know it can disrupt the prayer kind of thing upstairs in the altar. So that is the reason why I don't go to church. I mean, I do believe in God. I do talk to him, but without me actually saying the prayer out loud. But I do believe in him. I do believe that he's here for us no matter what. I do believe in angels. I do believe in Jesus. I talk to them a lot in my own head, but without actually saying it out loud. But that's my way. So, anyway, may God bless you all for tonight's episode. So if it's scary, pray to God, and I'm pretty sure he will be with you at all times, like through good times, through bad times, tough times. He's always there no matter what. He's there for me all the time, especially when we're moving to a new house. He's going to be there with us no matter what.
Yes, he will.
Yes, so God knows what we're doing. He knows that we're about to move out of our current apartment and into our new house.
Baby.
All right, careful. So, yeah, I hope you guys are doing okay tonight. May God protect you all, and may God bless you guys as well. So, anyway, we're doing all right as well. So, just want to say thank you guys for being very supportive, and thank you guys for subscribing to my channel, Ghosting with Anya, especially other people who love paranormal stuff and still believe in God and all that shit. But I do believe in all that, so I just prefer it my own way. I don't like talking about it, but it just, I don't know. I just don't like to talk about it. So it just makes me mad every time someone talks about it and does worship stuff. Yeah. I don't like listening to that stuff because it's just not really my thing. So when I was a little baby girl, I was never around church that much because I did not grow up going to church constantly. Like literally, because where I'm from and before in 1990s, we weren't allowed to go to church. So that is the reason why I was never baptized after I was born, like 2 weeks after my birth. So this is why. And I turned out pretty well, and I do believe in God, but in my own way. So anyway, let's get started on the story. Got the tea going, got the ghost stories ready for you guys. Anyway, so let's get started on the story. I just hope you guys are having a wonderful night, and it can be very spooky, but I just hope it's safe enough for you all. So, well, anyway, we went for a walk, and it felt like the rain was about to come down, so we decided to finish our walk and then come right back, and then the rain started going off. It sounded like Mother Nature, crying because something terrible must have happened, but it's just Mother Nature, you know. I've never believed in Mother Nature's because I actually don't. But that's okay. That's just my own opinion. So, anyway, let's get started on the story. So, please get something to drink, eat. Unless you already had dinner, that's cool. Just get something to drink. Just sit back and relax. Please click like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching all my shows, like all of my episodes since day one. Like last April was my first day and the first time I've ever done it. So this is my first year since I started this whole thing. So let's continue doing that to get more viewers and subscribers and get all the fans, who like podcasting. But yeah, so let's get started on the story. So it's going to be fun, and I just hope you guys are, being very cautious, just like last night, being cautious with everything. So, especially giving the parents advice about protecting their own children from anything that could happen to them. So, that's what I'm saying, guys. So, this one's about church, something about the choir inside the basement, like underground, like secret room or something like that. So, please sit back and relax. Please click like, share, and subscribe, and let's get started. So, my husband should be back out here like any second, and I'm just gonna start on the story. Okay, we are on season 5, episode 127. The choir in the church basement. Wow. All right. Reverend Paul had been leading the small church for less than 6 months when members of the Wednesday cleaning group began refusing to go into the basement alone. The church itself was not large, just a brick building with a white steeple, a fellowship hall, and a basement used for storage, Sunday school crafts, and seasonal pageant supplies. Nothing about it seemed especially mysterious in daylight, though the basement always carried that damp, old building smell of concrete, paper, and forgotten fabric. Martha, who had cleaned the church for nearly 20 years, was the first to say something strange was happening. She claimed that while putting away folding chairs one evening, she heard children singing from the far end of the basement. At first, she assumed a rehearsal had started upstairs and the sound was traveling oddly through the vents. Then she realized the singing was coming from behind the locked storage room door. Something tells me those little children were singing choirs like worship songs and other songs. Something about God or whatever, but I'm not really in all that kind of stuff, but that's okay. So, anyway, the basement can be very creepy room, and the haunting thing can be very normal or paranormal, that sort of thing. So um I hope you guys are, you know staying very I don't know, very so anyway, I hope you guys like this, and I hope you know what I'm talking about and makes sense of it. So can you just wipe that?
Yeah.
You were like messing with like, I don't know. You were, I don't know, hugging the tea or something.
Sorry, I was just trying to hover around.
Thank you.
There.
Good. I was just trying to get to my tea. Your hands weren't let that happen. So, you dropped it. All right, thanks. Sorry about that, guys. I was trying to get to my tea, and my husband's hands probably wouldn't move.
Okay.
So, anyway, I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. This story about the choir in the church basement, like little spirits of kids who passed away, maybe inside the church, many, 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 many centuries ago. Like, I don't know when. Probably when the Vikings were still around, or sometime around the 17 or 1600s, somewhere around there, but I don't really know. But let's just find out what is going on. So let's continue on working on the story. Let me take a sip of the tea because tea helps with the voice. Okay. So let's continue on. I hope this video lasts more than 45 minutes, maybe about 50 or 52 or 53 minutes, somewhere around there. Okay. Most people gently dismissed Martha's story because she was tired and known for making ordinary events sound dramatic. But 2 weeks later, the youth men reported hearing the same thing while setting up for a game night. He described it not as random noise, but as a proper little choir of children's voices singing a hymn slowly and a bit out of tune. Ben even recognized the melody, though he could not place why the version sounded so old-fashioned. When he opened the storage room, the singing stopped at once. Inside were only Christmas pageant costumes, old choir robes, cardboard scenery, and cracked plastic bins of Sunday school supplies. No children, no radio, no explanation. After that, the cleaning volunteers began pairing up when they went downstairs. This is very, very creepy. This is why I don't like going to churches, because it can be very creepy if you're alone down there, especially when it's dark in there and like rooms can be very empty, but if you see any spirits there, if you don't recognize what they look like, if you think they might be, I don't know, solid, like flesh and blood human beings, but we both know they're not. So, anyway, I hope you guys are, listening very carefully. So, let's continue on the story. I hope the video lasts another 45 minutes. I just hope it does. Boy, am I tired. I like to work nights because it's better for you guys to listen to my story in the evening when you're not doing your day job during the day. That way I don't have to do it during the day, so you can focus on your actual day jobs. Like my husband, he works during the day from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4:30 p.m., like in the afternoon, like 30 minutes after 4. So, but yeah, anyway, let's continue on the story. The church secretary, Diane, disliked superstition and insisted they stopped feeding the story, but on the last Thursday of October, she stayed late to organize donation records and went into the basement to retrieve a file box from storage. She was halfway down the concrete steps when she heard children laughing below her, followed by one clear soprano voice singing alone for just a few bars. Diane stopped where she was and called out, annoyed, more than frightened. Assuming some kids had slipped downstairs after choir practice, the laughter stopped. Then, from the bottom landing, a child's voice answered, "We're waiting." Diane dropped the file list, holding, and nearly twisted her ankle, hurrying back upstairs. By the next morning, no one in the church office was willing to say the basement story was nonsense anymore. This is the weirdest thing I ever heard. If I went to the church right now, if I went to the basement, I would feel like there's something down there. Like something paranormal.
Yep.
This is why I don't do churches.
I know.
Because I know it's haunted by the spirits of little kids who were singing in choir and died in.
Yes.
So this is why. Anyway, this can be relatable to anything. So I literally love paranormal stuff, but I just don't like going to church because it's not really my thing. I was never baptized when I was an infant. So I'm okay with it. And I hope you guys are okay with it, that I was never baptized, because it's the thing. My parents work in the weekends. Yeah, working tonight, I'm working tomorrow night, and the next night for half a year. So next April, it will be 2 years. Because I started last April, like a year ago. Day 1 with episode 1 of season 1 of this podcast, Ghosting with Anya, like literally. And all the way to last month, which is 1 year. So next year it's going to be 2 years.
Yes.
The anniversary, the day I started my podcast. So it's going to be fun. We are in 20 minutes now. So let's continue on this story. We'll be done soon. It's almost 8 p.m. It's like 7:46. I got stuff to do, so I got to do laundry, and tomorrow.
We'll do laundry tomorrow.
I know. We're going to Aunt Sarah's house to pick up some moving boxes. So we're gonna pack up some stuff.
Yes.
Are we gonna pack some stuff tomorrow?
Probably a little bit, yeah.
So yeah, that's why we're slowly packing up our stuff. I just hope Amber is finished with it now.
She won't be done for a couple weeks, but we'll get more stuff packed up with the boxes Aunt Sarah gives us.
All right, sounds good. So yeah, that's what we're doing tomorrow. After my husband is finished with his day job, and I'll do my podcasting a couple hours later, maybe at 7 or 8 p.m. If you guys let me know about it, if you guys want to see anything, or if you guys want me to do my podcast at 8 o'clock in the evening, let me know in the comments down below, and I will start doing it at 8 o'clock or at 7 p.m. It doesn't even matter. I don't have a schedule for it. I just go on live stream whenever I please myself, whenever I feel like it. So, but yes. So anyway, let's continue on doing the story. After the story, we'll be doing questions. So it's like Q&R questions, or Q&A, that sort of thing. But I hope you guys have any questions about the story. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think about the story and how it's related to real life events. So let's continue on this. Reverend Paul decided he needed facts before rumor hollowed out the whole congregation. He asked the oldest surviving member, Mrs. Calloway, whether the building had any history involving children accidents or old choirs. She sat very still when he mentioned singing in the basement. After a while, she told him that before the current sanctuary was renovated, the basement had once been used during the brutal winter when illness swept through town, and several local families needed a place to gather and pray. While a school building was closed, among those children, a small singing group that performed hymns for the community. One evening after a rehearsal, a furnace malfunction filled part of the basement with smoke. Before anyone noticed, some children were rescued immediately, but not all of them survived the damage done to their lungs. Over time, the church stopped telling the story directly, not out of secrecy, but because grief eventually makes communities choose silence over repetition. That is so sad. That is very sad that when the families have lost their little kids who were in the choir every Sunday when they did Sunday school, Sunday church, whatever, but like many centuries ago, something like that.
Yes.
This actually, all these stories can be very based on real life events from the past. I just want to make sure you guys knew all about this. And if you ever read any Bibles about it, it'll probably tell you what happened. So, especially any story, like if you go to a haunted church or any places like that, maybe the reverends, any reverend like of the church, probably might tell you that the history must have happened in the past. Like any paranormal stuff has been going on for generations. So anyway, let's get started or something. Let's just continue on this, and we'll go with the questions, Q&A, and let me know what you think. So all right, so Paul did not share the full story with everyone right away. Instead, he asked Ben, Diane, Martha, and 2 deacons to join him in the basement after evening service on Sunday. He wanted witnesses, prayer, and maybe, if he was honest, the comfort of not being alone. They stood together near the storage room while the church above them settled into emptiness, and the heating pipes clicked in the walls. For several minutes, nothing happened. Then, so faintly at first it could have been imagined, a child's voice began singing from inside the locked room. Another voice joined it, then another. Within moments, 6 or 7 children were singing together, their tones thin and wavering, but unmistakably arranged. Around a hymn no one had heard performed in years, Martha started crying before the 3rd verse. Paul unlocked the storage room and opened the door. The singing stopped so suddenly that the silence felt physical, yet all of them smelled it at once. Smoke, old and dry like fabric that had once burned and been packed away too soon. Ben stepped in first and found nothing unusual except a row of old choir robes hanging at the back. Then Diane pointed to the dusty floor near the shelves. Small footprints had appeared there in the dust, more than one set circling loosely as though children had been shifting their weight while singing in peace. On one shelf rested a stack of old hymnals tied with twine. The top one was open to a page no one had touched in years, marked with the hymn they had all just heard. This is just so sad, guys. I mean, kids being killed by smoke inside the freaking basement when something terrible could have happened. So this is a terrible thing and sad at the same time. I mean, a child never had a chance to grow up to be successful adult for like anything, becoming rich and famous maybe, or like owning any companies, or like just continuing doing the church stuff or whatever. But these children died very young, age maybe 6 or 7 year olds. So it's so sad.
Yes, it is.
How do you feel about that?
It's very sad.
Yeah. All right, let's continue on. It's almost done. We will be doing questions and answers here soon. We are in 30 minutes now, so hopefully maybe another 15 to 20 minutes, hopefully. But with something like that. I don't know. But let me know if you guys have any experience like that. So you guys can leave me a comment down below with any story that you guys heard and had experience with in your past. So just let me know what you think. The church did not close the basement. Instead, Reverend Paul had held a quiet memorial service the following Wednesday with candles, hymn singing, and a reading of the few names Mrs. Calloway could still remember. No spectacle was made of it, and no one outside the congregation would have known anything unusual had happened after that night. The full choir was never heard again. But from time to time, especially on winter evenings, when the building emptied and the pipes carried sound, strangely, one clear child's voice could still be heard, singing a line or two from downstairs. Martha said it no longer frightened her. She believed they had not wanted to haunt the church at all. They had simply wanted someone to finish the song with them. Wow. Whew. That was the longest story I have ever read. And it's very sad and terrible, terrible thing could have happened. Anyway, but yeah. So let's go with the audience questions. I know a lot of you who are watching this show right now, if you have any ideas about all these stories I have read, and can they be related to any of the stuff that's been happening for many years in real life, leave me a comment down below if you actually do have ideas, and let me know what you guys think. So let's get started on the questions. All right. Let's start with all the questions. So we've got 10 questions before I sign off and get ready for tomorrow. So I got to get back to knitting and get cleaned up for tomorrow. So we've got a lot of shit going on. So may God bless you all, and I hope you guys are staying safe, and let the professionals do their thing with all the paranormal stuff going on. So if you don't know what you're doing, let the professionals take over. So but yeah, let's start with the questions. Do you think the children in the basement were haunting the church or asking to be remembered? That's a good question, guys. I think that the kids were asking to be remembered. They weren't trying to haunt the church. They were trying to get remembering. They just wanted to be acknowledged, and they wanted people to sing the songs with them so they can be remembered. They wanted to get a memorial service for the kids. All these kids wanted to be acknowledged, remembered. recognized just like others. So, uh, but yeah, I hope you guys have the same question. I hope you guys have same answer. Just let me know in the comments what you think. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the children in the basement were haunting the church or asking to be remembered?
Both.
But
they want to be remembered, but they were also haunting too.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's being remembered, not just the haunting.
Yes.
The kids were afraid that they won't get any acknowledgement and recognition from the adults.
True.
So that is why the children in the basement were sinning, because they want to be recognized.
Yes.
They wanted to be acknowledged and remembered.
Yes.
Just like the soldiers, when in the army or something like that, they wanted to be acknowledged. When they died, they wanted to be remembered. That's why they were still earthbound. That's why they couldn't move on. So
true.
This is why.
Okay.
So this could be related to anything. All the kids are dead.
Yes.
Well, it happened many years ago, before my time. So, but yeah, I think the kids finally got the recognition, and they got their own funeral, and they got the songs been sung by adults and other churchgoers, and they got their remembrance. So they finally got it, and everyone's happy, and everything went back to normal. So the kids finally got what they wanted, and they finally moved on. They're no longer trapped in the basement where they died. They found peace, and they finally went to heaven. So, but yeah, let's go to number 2. What is more unsettling, hearing singing or hearing laughter in an empty building? I think maybe the singing, and also the empty building, like the laughter. Hearing all that can be very unsettling, but mostly singing. I think it might be both. What do you think?
Could be both.
I think that hearing voices of the singing of the dead is more creepy than anything else. I mean,
yes.
The building is haunted, but by the spirits of the dead.
Yes.
Because they're trapped and they were praying for what happened, but it never did. The help didn't come, so they died violently, and this is why they kept sinning.
Yes.
It's like a time loop. They reliving their deaths, how they died. So
yes.
This is what people are like, and this is why these little kids were sinning, because they wanted to be remembered. They wanted adults who are still alive to join them with the singing. Not being dead, but they wanted adults to join them with the music, like praying or something like that. But yes, let's go to number 3. Would you have gone into the basement after hearing "We're Waiting"? I probably would. I would literally want to investigate this whole thing. I would not back down. I would not run away. I would literally go into the basement and investigate. I would probably figure out who these kids were when they passed away. Like, what year did they die and how they died, what age they were when they died, what were their names, who their parents were, what village they're from or something like that. What school did they go to when they were alive? I probably would do that. Like, literally, I would. So let me know in the comments if you know what the story is making sense of. This is the question for all of you guys who are watching this show right now. Same thing for you, baby.
Okay, baby.
I mean, literally, same question for you. Would you have gone into the basement after hearing?
Yes, I would.
We're waiting. I mean, literally. Would you investigate it?
I'd want to find out what's going on, so yes.
Would you want to talk to spirits of little kids?
Probably, yes.
Trying to help them move on?
Yes.
I probably would too. Yes, my husband and I literally definitely would want to. So let's go to number 4. Why do some hauntings seem tied to unfinished rituals or songs? That's a good question.
That's an excellent question.
Well, the hauntings can be like, well, the unfinished business is like something to do with the company maybe, or finding their loved ones or something like that, what they wanted to accomplish, the work they've done, and the person they knew, or whatever, that sort of thing. And music to sing, maybe that would be like unfinished business.
Yep.
That sort of thing is unfinished rituals. Music, yes, it could be related to that. So they can be tied to that because they knew that they were going to be good at it in real life. Like in life, they were really good. Even in death, they were good. But still. Anyway, leave me a comments down below if you guys know what these things are. So if you know it, please let me know. If it makes any sense to you all, please leave me a comment down below. So let's go to number 5. We have about 5 questions left because we're getting closer to question 10. What do you make of the hymn book opening to the exact song they heard? Well, it's probably the worship song, like asking God to protect them, and like they're like asking for the gods to keep them alive and keep them protected. They want to survive what happened to them. No wonder why they sang songs about something to protect them from getting hurt, or if they were dying or something, they would sing songs about it or whatever. They were asking God to protect them, keep them from dying, something like that. This is why they were asking God to give them answers, that sort of thing. So that's why the songs that they heard, that was in the book of songs, like in the Bible or something like that. Let's go to number 6. Was Reverend Paul right to hold a memorial instead of trying to get rid of the spirits? I think that he was right about holding a memorial for the little kids. I would probably do the same thing. I would light the candle and go to the cemetery or something and bring them flowers maybe and give them silence so they could find peace or something, or sing songs about letting go of the spirits so they can move on and find afterlife, that sort of thing. So, the Reverend, yes, he was right about it. Do you think he was right about it?
He probably was.
I think he did the right thing. Yes, that was um, actually a good thing and also brave. It took a lot of guts to do that. So let me know in the comments down below if you think it was the right thing. So let's go to number 7. Do you believe places of worship can still hold trauma?
Yep.
Yes, it can be. Yes. A lot of places can hold trauma, especially that can be very brutal and violent. So, it can be anything. Like the battle of um, the Roman Empire, the battle of the Vikings and the Saxons and the Danes, especially, and the Christians, all that. Like, all the Viking battles thing when the Vikings were defeated and as they were seeing some kind of spirits, we call them the Valkyries, okay? They only come to the dying people who are dying. So they come to collect the spirits and take them to a place that is very peaceful and spirit world or something like that. But it has peace in there and love. It's called Valhalla. That's where all the Viking spirits go to when they reunite with their gods of the north and all the loved ones who were God. I mean, were like the Vikings. They can be reunited in the next life in Valhalla. I'm watching a show called Vikings Valhalla. So this is what it is, but it's a really good show. Spirits come to us when we're dying, and the Valkyries can literally collect the ghosts, and it would take them to their Valhalla to reunite with Odin and everyone else in Valhalla, especially other spirits of the Vikings, like Ragnar Lothbrok or something. That, I think that was his name. He was one of the greatest Vikings in the Viking era, back in the 8th century, something like that. But yeah, everyone in the Viking era had died and went to Valhalla to be with their loved ones. That's where, like, it's like a paradise, but it's very peaceful. It's like heaven. That's where they are. So, trauma with all that shit, yeah, it can hold anything. All right, let's go to number 8. Why do group apparitions or group sounds feel more convincing than single sightings? Well, it can be spirits, probably, of the dead. It's the group of any kind of apparition or any single sounds, which is all the spirits are literally, well, singing songs or whatever they're doing, looking for their loved ones or whatever, trying to get their unfinished business taken care of so they can find peace instead of lingering as in earthbound, that sort of thing. But all the sightings can be very haunting, but I don't have words for that. So let's go to number 9. We have 2 questions left before I sign off. We're in 49 minutes now, more like 50 minutes, almost up to an hour. So Would you keep using the basement after that experience? Maybe. I don't really know. Probably not, but if I wanted to, it would be my choice to go into the basement and continue investigating the place, or maybe seal off the basement door to the basement. I would probably not want to. I would probably move the stuff into another room or something. But I don't really know. I might not. We'll figure something out. All right, we have one last question before I sign off. Have you ever heard music in a place where no source could be found?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think so. Maybe at the cemetery. We might go back to the Black Angel Cemetery anytime in Council Bluffs.
We probably will. Maybe we'll do the Jesse James Museum on the way to Kansas City this October.
I think we probably might. We might stop by at the museum where a lot of country music folk had passed away and where they are trapped. And that's where they do the haunting. Especially the Jesse James and I think there's like Elvis Presley or something. What do you think?
Maybe.
Well, it depends. Well, it could be any country music folk. But yeah, we probably might. So, okay, guys, we are out of time. I just want to say thank you guys for listening to the story. And tomorrow we'll be doing another story. We are in 52 minutes. So it's called The Guest at Cabin 4. I hope you guys are ready for my next episode, which is episode 128. I just want to say thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. Have the rest of your night, and we'll see you all tomorrow night, maybe 7 or 8 o'clock. Just let me know what you guys think. It's already 8 p.m., so please click like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching and listening of Ghosting with Anya. So please click like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you all tomorrow night. Maybe at the same time as always. So good night, everybody, and stay safe, have fun, and stay spooky, guys. Bye.